Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Learn to Become an Animator. In this video I am going to show you how you can create this wonderful VFX into the Blender. To create this kind of VFX, first of all you have to select a nice video. This video I have downloaded from the internet. I'll leave the link into the description, so if you want you can follow along with that. To create this kind of effects you have to follow certain process. First of all we have to create a camera for this. After creating the camera, go to the Blender and we have to model the exact model of the tower. After modeling we have to track the camera and the geometry. After tracking the camera we can create the effects onto the geometry of the tower. Let's begin. To create the model of this tower, first of all we have to create the camera. To create the nice camera for this one, I would tell you the nice idea that take one single frame from the video. By using the After Effects or the Premiere Pro, you can take a single frame, export it and you can use it. Once you export a single frame of this video, that frame you have to just import into this FSPy plugin. FSPy plugin is a nice add-on for the Blender where you can create the camera. To know more about the FSPy, you can visit my tutorial that I have created, that how to create a camera for billboard for Blender and the Maya. I have explained everything in the detail in this tutorial, how you can create a camera using the FSPy. Okay, just drag and drop the image into the FSPy. You can see here two axes, X and Y. We have to match it for the right perspective and to get a right camera. First of all I am going to just match very roughly so we can get a nice simple axis, the indication of the axis, and then we can match the perfectly. Now you can see X, Y and the Z axis, which is indicating the perspective of this image. To match the perfectly, just you can select any point of this line and press Shift for the zoom. Then you can just match exactly to the any line of the image, the perspective line. For this red I am just matching this corner and this corner. Okay, the same for here also. We have to be very precise, because of if you match nicely this image then only you will get the perfect camera. So you can see I am matching the vertical and the horizontal both into the image. Now to cross check, here you have an option. Just click on this box, so the box will appear. Just click on the box and you can just move here to match the right perspective. See, if you move down there also you can see the vertical and the horizontal lines are matching perfectly. So if you feel that this is okay, then we have to just save as the file. And minimize or close the FSPy. Now we have to straight away just go into the Blender. To import that FSPy image, FSPy file into the Blender, you have to install the add-on called FSPy. When you just go into the import FSPy, here you can find that. So straight away just navigate the folder and you can import the camera. So just now we have saved this camera tower. Just import it. So here you can see where the camera is coming. So now you can straight away you'll find that okay how the perspective is matching for the tower. Right? Before you start modeling that, I would suggest that we have to bring this camera and the lower part of the tower exactly here somewhere onto the floor, the grid. Just go to the side view. For that I would like to go and match exactly here onto the grid. After that we have to select the AppSpy camera, not this one. Let's delete that camera and we'll select the AppSpy camera. Just to cross check, just go into the double view and select here camera, go to the right view or the front and just bring the camera up. Now press the X and just match this. This cube perfectly, so that from here you can start modeling. If you know the modeling very well, then you can just straight away model the tower. Why we have to model the tower? Just because if we don't have any geometry into the scene, then we are not able to generate the effects on that. To generate the effects on it, we have to model the tower perfectly. And after modeling the tower, we need to track the camera. That's why we have to model the tower. So I'll show you the roughly we can just model the tower. I'm not going to model the whole tower here. So this way you can model the tower very easily and we can track the later on. So I have paused the video and I have modeled the full tower. Now here you can see we have the full tower and I have almost matched with the original one, so that when we create the effects it looks very real. So here wherever in this area you can see I felt that okay, these all details were not required because it's going to cover with the effects, all the plants and the flowers. But overall it should match with our original tower, right? Now the process starts for the tracking. So here in our scene we have the two cameras basically. So we are going to have only one camera for now. Now I am going to track this geometry, so that exact camera we are going to get. To track the geometry, we require the geometry tracker into the Blender. When you press the N, you can see here the GeoTracker plugin is on. GeoTrackers add-on is on. To install this GeoTracker, I'll leave the link into the description so you can just go and download it. You can go to this site keentools.io and you can download the GeoTracker and the face builders. This is the wonderful plugin, so you can track the geometry and the camera. To track the geometry, just select the geometry and I am going to click on the create new GeoTrackers. In this one we need to load the clip. Now instead of this image we are going to load the clip. So here you can see the clip is here. So we have taken the image from the first frame, so we are keeping our timeline to the first frame and select the geometry. In the geometry we have to select the cube. Camera we have to select this camera, AppSpy camera, not this one. So let me delete that camera, that doesn't require anymore. You can switch off the light also, it's fine. You can keep into the wire mode, that is little handy, you can see everything. Now click on the start pin mode. So when you click on the start pin mode, you can see the green color is appear and the geometry looks locked onto the image plane. So after that you can just click on the track forward. Now you can see our geometry is perfectly matching with the video footage. Now just exit the pin mode and go to the perspective and you can check. So the geometry is moving but camera is not moving, right? But in this shot we required to be the camera animated, not the geometry. So here you can go into this option, scene, and you will find that geometry to the camera. So just select that geometry, or if you don't select, that doesn't matter. Just click convert to geometry to the camera and convert it. So the whole animation is going to be on the camera. Now you can see the camera is moving but the geometry is the still. Now we got the perfect tracking. Now if you press Z and go to the solid mode, also you can see our geometry is perfect and it's matching with the footage. Now it's time to create the effects. To create the effects, we are going to use the particle system and the geoscattering. For that we require this geometry little heavy, so we need to subdivide this geometry. So you can just go into the edit mode, select everything and subdivide. So we need little dense mesh. So that whatever scatters or whatever the effects, flowers and plant we are going to put into this, that appears very well. Now here you can see I have just increased the subdivision on the mesh and now our mesh is little heavy. Okay, and these small domes I have just created separately, so we have to join everything together. So I am going to select this everything, all this separate mesh. Okay, select this and just press Ctrl J. So now we have everything in the single piece of the geometry. To create the effects, first of all we require just create a sphere. You can create a sphere which can cover the whole tower and we need to animate. So start from the bottom, go to the first frame, create the location and the rotation keys and how much slow or fast require based on the requirement. You can just create the animation. Just go timeline, make it linear so it should not feel slow in and slow out. Now we have to create the vertex weight. For that, just create this tower geometry. Go to Physics tab, Dynamic Paint, create a canvas, add canvas and go to the paint and select the weight. Okay, just go down under the output and click on this plus, so it will create the vertex group called DP weight. So these we are going to use for the scatter system. Right, now just select the sphere, go to dynamic paint, create as a brush and add brush and go to the source and you have to select the proximity. Now to check how the weight is working, just select the geometry, go to the shading mode and go here into the weight and you can play. Now you can see that our weight is working fine and perfect. Now it's time to create the plants and the flowers. Go to the object mode back again To add the plants and the flowers into the scene, you need to install the add-ons called Biomi Reader and the Geoscatter. I'll put the link into the description so you can just download and install into the Blender. If you have any question about that, just let me know, so I'll explain how to install it. Or else I'll put a link into the description of the one channel that from where I got this Geoscatter and the Biomi Reader. So it's very easy. Let's begin how to put the flowers and the plants into our scene. So just go to the asset browser. After installing Biomi Reader, the plant library, you can see the plants everything into the asset library here. So here you can go to the plant library and you can find all the plants and the flowers. Let's select. Just select the flowers, and I am just putting all the flowers into our floor here. So that's going to be very easy. Just drag and drop here. You can adjust the scale based on the requirement. Whichever flower you feel nice, you can just drag and drop here. Go to these plants, get some grass. You can keep saving the scene, so if it is crashing anytime, so you can't lose the work. If you need more flowers, you can just duplicate this and reduce the size or do some size variation. So I think these are enough for now. Later on, if you require these are less, later on we can definitely increase that. Okay, just select everything and rotate into the x-axis or the y-axis. X minus 90. So this way it's going to just be on the geometry. That's why we are rotating into the one axis. And just press M to create a collection plants. Now it's time for a magic. Just select this tower geometry and go to the particle system, create the particle, go to hair, create the hair, and you can just reduce the hair length to the 1. Okay, go to the render, select to the collections, into the collection here, instance collection, select the plants. As you select the plants, you can see the plants are appear here. Now pick the random, you can select object random. Okay, and the scale you can increase, so you can see here in the viewport all the plants are visible. Okay, now scale random, and the random. Okay, the globe collection is different. This all you can try it out, it's fine. After that, just go to the field weight, field force, vertex group. Into the vertex group, just select the DP weight. If you remember that we have created the vertex weight group into the paint weight deformers, right? Just select this one. So once you select into the length, now here you can see, now just switch off this and just go to the timeline, just scrub the timeline. As our sphere goes up, you can see the, okay, these things we just have to take it little away so it should not be visible into the scene. Now here you can see as our sphere goes up, you can see the plants are getting scattered. To increase the more, you can just select and you can increase the number of particles like 5000. You can see the visibility of this object. You can just go here and go to the visibility and just do the bound so it won't disturb into the animation. Yeah, here you can see there is not looking perfect, so I think just select this one, particle system, go to the advanced and go to the normals, or this the randomize. You can just randomize that and select into the normal mode, so it will look more perfect. Now you can see this wonderful, the plants and flowers growing on the tower. So once you satisfied with the effects, if you required any changes into the flowers or anything, you can just go ahead and change into this our group. If you need that, okay, if you think these yellow flowers are less, you can just duplicate, scale it, so you can see those appears into our scene. And if you can just go and duplicate this, okay, scale it up or the down so that effect equally into our scene. Now you can see this, the wonderful effect appears into our tower. Now how we can render this, that's a very important thing. If you want to play this very nicely, just you have to select this, go to the particle system, go down into the into the cache. Where is the cache? Into the physics tab, to cache and bake all the dynamics. So that will bake all the dynamics into the scene, so it's going to be very easy if you scrub the scene in the timeline, so it won't get crash or anything. Now to light the scene, just we need to go to the world property and select, create the environment texture, get the HDRI. If you select the render view, viewport setting, display, render preview, and go to this render property, go to film, this is not, I think this is not cycle, just go to the cycle, keep it into the GPU, go to film and make it transparent so we can see our background here. And this sphere we are not going to render, so just switch off the sphere from the rendering, right? And this one we need to see the tower instead of our model, so just select that tower model, go to the material property, new material, apply new material, just select new material, hold out, so you can see instead of the model you can see the nice tower. Now you can just save the file and render single image. Before that we have to just make it very less the samples, so it will render quickly. Now here you can see these white flowers are too much. We can reduce those flowers if it is. If the density is not that much, you can just increase the density anytime. Here like 8000. Yeah, now press 12 and you can render the image. Now you can see the wonderful effect is happening. Okay, but it's not rendering with the background image, right? So you have to do little comping here. So let's render a single image first. After rendering this image, just go to compositing, click on this use node. So here you can see composite node and the render layer node. It's a viewer node, so you can see the image into the background very easily. To zoom out you can press V, to zoom in you can press Alt V. Okay, now to get our footage here into the background, you can just click and search for movie clip. So here you can insert our movie clip. To view the movie clip, you can directly just click the viewer node, you can see the movie clip, but we need to see this both together. For that we need to merge both the node. We need the alpha over node, because this image is into the alpha and this is the movie clip, so we require the alpha over node. Search for the alpha over node, click on, just put here into the composite node, this connect to the viewer node, and image just connect to the alpha over node. If it is not visible, just switch this one down and up. Now you can see our wonderful image is visible. Now you can go to any frame and you can render it, so it will appear with the background. So what it will does, it renders the image, then it will comp and it appears into the viewport. Now you can render the whole sequence, or you can render the MOV file or MP4 file. To render this whole sequence, you can just go to this output property. Here you can select the folder wherever you want to render it. Just I am creating one folder. Test, select that folder, accept. If you want to render PNG, you can render the PNG. Go to color management, select. If you want to change the high contrast filmy, you can change it accordingly. If you want to just render the video file directly, and you have to select the FFmpeg video. Then here you have to select the codec to the MP4, so you'll be able to create the video out of it direct. If you render to the PNG file, then you just have to bring all the PNG file into the After Effects or the Premiere Pro, and you have to make the MOV out of it. So this is how you can create the wonderful effects like this. I hope you understood very well. If you have any question about any plugins or any process, if you are not able to understand, just let me know into the comment box so I can explain into the another tutorial, or I can create a specific video if you required. Please let me know. Thanks a lot and just happy animating. If you like my tutorial, you can subscribe and share. Thanks a lot.